Right. Right. Hello, Nisha. So, D60, quite an important chart. As if you read Parashar, then you know that it is an important chart. But is a single person authority? That's the prime thing. We have heard a story in the when in tender age, my maternal grandfather used to tell me a story that someone said there is a fox in the village. There is a fox in the village. No one believes him. He told a lie thrice, and the fourth time when the real fox came, no one came to help him. That happens with BPHs, right? CR आया जब असली में CR आया तो कोई नहीं आया. So the text of BPHS is highly plagiarized. I will say mixed rather. I don't expect that Parashar is writing it. Why? Because the text itself is in a format of a dialogue. So when it is in the format of a dialogue, of course someone else is writing it. And whoever is writing it, I think is a complete beginner or a novice person at least. Why? Because there are four problems. And I'm just talking about the divisional chart section of BPHS only. Nothing else. While sipping my tea, right? Because the time schedule is quite hectic. I'm not getting time to have food also. So doing it in between the webinars. That's the pathetic situation we are heading towards. Namaskar, Vasanji, namaskar. So actually there are four problems is what I think, right? First one, when Parashar himself talks about that D3, take an example for D3, right? When Parashar himself talks about that D3 is to be seen for siblings, then why in the chapter where he talks about siblings, the number of siblings, etc., he doesn't mention D3? Must have mentioned that if he have already told in the chapter 6, 7, 8, depending on which edition of BPHS you are reading. If he have already told that D3 is to be used for Drekane Vratrajam Saukyam is the shloka, right? If I remember it correctly. If he himself have told that D3 is to be seen for siblings, then why, when he is talking about siblings, he is not mentioning about D3? That's a problem number one. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he forgot, right? That generally happens. But then again, when he talks about D3, in BPHS, there is a chapter on D3 also. When he talks about D3, then why he is not talking about siblings? You should do that, right? You can do a mistake once, not twice. Mentioning about siblings, he's not talking about D3. Talking about D3, he is not mentioning siblings. What is the case? Parashar is not following his own advice. How can you follow that? See, people can bash me as a person who is using shlokas. That's right. I don't feel offended. There is a Hindi saying, right? Hathi chale bazaar and whatever else. People know. But I cannot make astrology rules in my home and declare it as ultimate truth tomorrow. I cannot do that, right? There have to be a gradation. How do you find this food is eatable or not? There is a gradation, there is a standardization, right? If something have passed a certain test, then you can accept it. If I go to my home today, although I'm sitting in my home itself, but still, suppose tomorrow I write on Facebook that Venus is the lord of Aries. Should you accept it? I will give you 101 reasons why Venus is the lord of Aries. See, Aries is a sensual sign, Venus is sensual. Aries is aggressive, sex is aggressive. Aries is a ram is very sexual. Sexuality is Venus, come on. So you cannot debate. But I cannot say that Aries is lorded by Venus. Why? Because there is a standardization, right? In a four-wheeler, there have to be steering, right? There cannot be handles because controlling four tires with handles is not easy. There is a standardization, right? In the cars made by Ferrari, the uh, what was the word? The axle, the handle. Sorry, the क्या बोला था अभी मैंने शब्द यार, just slipped out of my mind. The steering in the cars like Ferrari is not completely round. It is cut from either below or above, depending on which type of car you are driving. Formula car, racing car, supercar, hypercar, whatever you say. But it is always round. Why? For a certain reason or not. So anything that comes in classic, any classic, cannot be taken prima facie. Right? There is a complete tradition that is followed. How the knowledge will come? Come on. Shiva will come into my dream and tell me that you should do this. Then I can only see Shiva, you cannot. Can my words be taken as authentic? No. There is a lineage where the knowledge passes down. And that lineage is the classical lineage, right? That's the reason in history we date when things happened, when things were built. Why do we do that? Why the archaeologists get their salary? Because it is important. The gradation, what comes after what is important. The thing that Parashar said is followed by none. There are many texts after Parashar, Braj Jatak, Saravali, Jatak, Parijat, Deepika, Sarvar Chintamani, whatever you say. I have some 300, 400 classics, right? I can name n number of classics. None of the classics except BPHS talks about Shodashvarga. It is only BPHS which talks about Shodashvarga. Out of 100 people, if 99 are saying that fox is brown and one is saying that fox is red, whom you should believe? 99. Right? That is what you have to do. Rather take it in a different way. Parashar, a sage, because no one before Parashar is saying that there are Shodashvarga. You haven't read the book by Garga, you haven't read the book by Brihaspati, you haven't read the book by Shaunak, you haven't read the book by Skanda. That's okay. I have that. I have read the manuscript. Brihash Shaunak Hora, I have read. Jyotishmati, I have read. They don't talk about Shodashvarga. No one talks about Shodashvarga before Parashar. No one talks about Shodashvarga after Parashar. Only Parashar talks about it. That's the only red cat in the market. Parashar came up with research. Let me think that. Supposing that the fact is completely authentic, which the text is not. Why? Because of the level of Sanskrit, the lack of structure, and multiple things that is there in BPHS. But still, considering the fact that BPHS is authentic and Parashar came up with research, we are very clear that Parashar came up with the research which other peoples refused to accept. Or after their experience, because all the people who have written books, be it Varamihir, be it Kalyan Varma, be it Mantreshwar, they all have been very successful astrologers. After their years of experience, because Varamihir was an astrologer in the court of Vikramaditya, the popular story says that. So after the experience, he decided that the Shodashvarga is not working. That is what happened. But the confusions in Shodashvarga is not my topic for today, of course not. That is for some other day, a long story. Now coming to classics, the standard grade followed by everyone is the Dashvarga or Shadvarga. Shadvarga means 6 divisional charts. Dashvarga means 10 divisional charts. And you cannot take any chart as per your own wish. There is a standardization there as well. So the Shadvarga constitutes of D1 Rashi, D2 Hora, D3 Trikkana, D9 Navamsh, D12 Dwadashamsh, and D30 Trimshamsh. That is the Shadvarga. Three charts are added to this Shadvarga to make it Sodashvarga. What are those three charts? D10, just yes,
D7.
four charts are added. D7 Saptamsh, D10 Dashamsh, D16 Sodashamsh, and D16 Shashtamsh. That is our topic under consideration. Right. But then once again, if you take my word that BPHS is unauthentic, then you face a very serious problem. Which divisional chart is to be seen for which matter? Let me tell you something. It is a very useless question. But still, you people will not accept me, right? That is what happens. The structure, I'm like a rebellious lady who wants to wear a skirt, and you people are from an Orthodox family and they're like, Gungat lo yahan naak tak. Of course, you will not accept what I'm going to say. What and how do you use it? Is the first question that you will ask me. Right? Fine. You see classics and see how they have used it. Parashar himself told that Navamsh is to be seen for Jaya, wife. He told it, right? But can you claim that there is no other shloka of D9 which talks of other matters? Can you say that all the shlokas of D9 only deal with marriage? Then what about Varguttam? What about exalted planet in Navamsh giving Raj Yoga? What about the Navamsh Lord of the 10th Lord of D1 chart gives you the profession? He is technically using D9 for everything. So under which premise you limit it to marriage only? Isn't it a faulty practice? That is. And the problem is that your gurus have made you so blind that you are not even able to put up the right questions. If the D9 is only to be seen for marriage, why there is Varguttama concept that have nothing to do with marriage? Varguttama is a Raj Yoga concept. Take a shloka from Brij Jatak, Sutika chapter. I think it is shloka number 13 or 14, chapter number 4. If in the Kendra to moon there are Mars or Saturn, then at the time of the childbirth, the mother goes under immense pain. This is not marriage. This is the birth condition. Or Saravali, last chapter. The Lagna of D9 talks about the complexion. He is talking about almost everything from every chart. That is the real thing that you will ever find if you really read classics. The Navamsh, the D12 of Venus tells which animal is there in the womb. Animal in the womb have nothing to do with parents. But your guru told you that D12 is for parents. No sage is saying that except Parashar. Parashar himself is not following what he's saying. Because when he talks about the death of mother, father, etc., either he talks about Nirayan Shuldasha or Nirayan Shuldasha, whatever you call. Nirayan is a better word because Nirayan means death. Nirayan means nothing. Right? Or when he talks about the conditions for death of father, etc., he talks about the afflictions to the 9th house, the afflictions to the sun. But where is D12? That is my prime question. D12 is nowhere. No classic. You cannot give me a single shloka based on D12 which talks about how to use D12 to time the death of your mother or father or anything. That's the problem. That's the problem I'm concerned for. If there are no shlokas and you are believing things blindly, not asking the right questions. This is not the way in which you will do a scientific research, the so-called scientific research. Putting anything anywhere. No. Ask the right questions, right? My topic is sticking back to that because it is a very tight class of 1 hour only strictly. Not 1 hour, so 45 minutes, I think is what I will take. If you look at classics, the classics which support Shadvarga are the classics like Brihad Jatak, Saravali, etc. And the classics which support Dashvarga are classics like Jatak, Parijat, Phaladipika, etc. What is the difference between Saravali and Phaladipika? Or what is the prime difference between Brihad Jatak and Jatak Parijat? What is the prime difference? Any one of you know? In the complete of Brihad Jatak, there is no chapter which talks about how to judge the first house. In Brihad Jatak, there is no chapter which talks about what happens if the Lord of sixth house comes to the fourth house. It doesn't talk about that. Neither Saravali talks about it. But Jatak Parijat and Phaladipika have very clear shlokas on it. Very clear. It is called Bhava Chinta. Chinta is thinking on. Bhava is house. Thinking on the fructification of house. This Bhava Chinta is not in Brihad Jatak, not in Saravali. But this Bhava Chinta is there in Jatak, Parijat, or Phaladipika. I am taking these 4 classics only as an example. It is not a comparative analysis. Coming to my point. Have you got my thing very clear? Let me tell you one more thing. Brihad Jatak in Saravali talks about Shadvarga only. Phaladipika and Jatak Parijat talk about Dashvarga. What is the prime difference? Bhava Chinta, the prime difference. What is the importance of Bhava Chinta? The importance is in the mode of consultation. Astrology is a science which talks about consultations guiding people. There can be ways to do this. And you cannot do anything blindly, that's for sure. There are 2 ways of reading a chart, as evident from all these classics. See, this is the thing that I do in astrology. Learning, reading it as a subject, presenting it as a subject, serious one. This is what I call a research. Looking into the structure, making a structure, presenting it. It is not like that I take 4 shlokas from I take 1 shloka from some text, will paste 4 chart and will publish it and call it a research. You do one such research in PhD. The professor will throw that research on your face. What you do, go for a PhD degree, you take one sum, a plus b is equal to x, solve it and give it to the teacher and tell him, sir, please give me PhD degree. He will throw that paper on your face and will show you the outway. You're going to go out from that place, right? That is what happens. What is a research? Taking 1 shloka from Phaladipika, pasting 4 chart, publishing it. Oh my God, I am a research astrologer. Is this a research? I don't think so. My maternal grandfather always used to say, you can fool yourself, only not the other one. This is the way I like to work. What is the gradation? What is the standard? Everything. Let me engage into serious research, not into a mental mind orgasm that 80% of the astrologers are having. These are mental orgasms. Oh, I predicted so good. I predicted so good. You predicted it once. By luck. Repeat it every day. Then you will not be that much happier. Coming back to my topic. There are 2 ways to look at a chart. One is followed by Brihat Jatak and Saravali. Another is followed by Jatak Parijat and Palki. Why I am naming these four texts only? Because I take these four texts as the most standard one. I take this text as most standard one. Although I can take the name of many more classics also, but that will be wasting your time. The approach of Varamihir, author of Brijata, and Kalyan Varma, the author of Saravali, is whenever a person comes to you, see the Dasha. And remember, the Dasha is not Vimshattari. So once again, the Dasha is not Vimshattari. You cannot tell me that Varamihir or Kalyan Varma used Vimshattari. If you tell, then you must have been learnt into the Kerala system of astrology. Chapter 1, Sloka 5. The interpretation by Govind Bhattari in the Shadhyai tells you how the Vimshattari Dasha can be taken from BPHS, but come on, you are not that intelligent, leave it. Prima facie, with a normal reading of BPHS, normal reading of Brihat Jatak, you will not find the discussion about Vimshattari Dasha. There is some other Dasha which is used. Some people name it Mool Dasha, some people name it something, whatever. Let me suppose it X. X Dasha. Opinion of Brihat Jatak and Saravali is that when a person comes to you, see the Dasha Lord, see the placement of the Dasha Lord, see the Antardasha Lord, see the placement of the Antardasha Lord, and predict accordingly. It is a very good way. See, these are the functional parts of astrology. This is how it is to be done. Because always remember, astrology is a consultation, a mixture of prediction and advice. It is neither only blank prediction or only advice. It is a mixture of them. Helping the native choose the right path for the optimum result he can have. It is the science which helps you decide something, not fatalistic, and neither imaginary. I tell you that you are going to get divorced. That's fine. That you will also know after 4 years. My work is to save your marriage, not to tell you that you are going to have a divorce tomorrow. Do you go to a doctor just to know whether you have chikungunya or common cold? Suppose you go to a doctor and he checks you up and he tells you that you have chikungunya, now go home. Is it the way? No. That's not the thing. You see what is going to happen in the life of the native and advise him for the optimum result. The next dasha is very bad financially. So the astrologer should say that you start saving money today. The next month you take this FD, this loan, you take this FD or this or that, put money here and there because the next 5 years you're not going to have money. That's the real use of astrology, to use it and better your life. Only the fatalistic prediction will do nothing. That's why people are not using it now. The work of the astrologer was not to tell the king that you are going to get defeated. The work of the astrologer was to ensure with the right muhurta, with the right remedies, that my king always wins. Because if the king gets defeated, the astrologer will get beheaded first. Because king will have his own astrologer, the other winning king will have his own astrologer. So the first person going to die is the astrologer. His duty is to save the king, always. That's why he's giving a place in the palace of the king. Otherwise, why he's going to have a place? So the approach one, which is from the time of Brihat Jatak Saravali, is the Dasha-based approach. That you see the Dasha of the person and you tell the person that right now these things are happening. In coming time, this will happen. You tackle this problem in this way. For the coming time, you take this precautions, etc. For an example, the person right now is going under a bad marital life situation. Evidence from the Dasha. You see what changes can be made. Tell him accordingly that you make this and this changes. His marital life suffering becomes less. You tell him the next dasha is going to be financially bad, start saving money. So the person starts saving money today. The bad dasha starts after 3 years. So he's not completely bashed. He has some money to survive. This is the dasha-based approach. Was used for the kings. It is used for the people who consult you yearly or regularly or frequently. If you don't go to an astrologer frequently, he is of no use. He cannot tell you 120 years of life in a consultation. Of course not. This approach is the approach where you take the consultation regularly on a regular interval, right? The interval of 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, you keep on consulting the astrologer. Keep on asking what is going to happen next, what is going to happen next, what is going to happen next, and proceed. That's the first approach, the dasha-based approach. For this dasha-based approach, Shadvarga is told that Shadvarga is to be used. Let me tell you my best rule for dasha, a rule that never fails. Check the Shadvarga of all the planets. The planet gaining power, the planet with Shadvarga Shuddhi, I will use the technical word. The planet with Shadvarga Shuddhi, his dasha will never be bad, no matter what happens. The planet with Shadvarga Ashuddhi, his dasha will never be good, no matter what condition. What is Shadvarga Shuddhi? What is Shadvarga Ashuddhi? I have a very good course on dasha, please join that. Right? No further questions asked. Coming to the topic back, it is for dasha. But as astrology developed, times developed, right? Varaham here and Kalyan Varma are living in those times when there is only one power, that is king, and everyone is working under him, and it is the king's duty to give everything to the people. But time will change, and there became more influential people. More influential people like good businessmen and other many people, right? So times change, times keeps on changing. Then in astrology there came a big change. That change is reflected very well when you go and see the later time classics like Jatak Parjat, Phaldeepika, etc. What is the approach of Jatak Parjat and Phaldeepika? Why they are giving something such as Bhavachinta? Because now the person who is coming to consult the astrologer is not the king only. It is the common person with common intention, common person with common desires. The person want to achieve a few things. Now the thing is not that he will keep on consulting you for a lifetime. The thing is not like this. The thing is that a normal person affords to come to an astrologer and he asks a question, sir, will I be able to have a child? Will I be able to get married? For the king, marriage is never a question. For the king, children is never a question. King is having harem. Why? See, every other king wants to give him his wife, give him his daughter if he's a real Chakravartin. So there's no question of when I will get married, when I will have children, etc., etc., etc. King doesn't, the kings doesn't pay much importance to these things. These are very natural. There's no question related to it. The dasha analysis is just on the good times and the bad times. When I should attack a kingdom, when I should not attack a kingdom, and multiple things. And it is even functional to this day. You are going to take admission in a school. If it is a time which will cause defeat, you will take admission in the course, the money will go waste. And if it is a time for success, you will take admission in the school, you will get the highest degree and everything will happen there. So the things haven't changed. Humans behave in the same way. Just at that time, there was a real fight with sword and knife. And nowadays, it is a fight of status and luxury. That I have a sedan, you have a hatchback. The fight is the same. Fight haven't changed. Just the machines. There's the tools there, tools then. Where the swords, the tools now is car, vehicle, home, property, wife. Why do you give money to your wife to go to parlor or anything? Because you want your wife to look better than your neighbor's wife, right? That's the thing. The fight is still there. Fight haven't ended. It never ends. Fight never ended for any animal. Why it will end for a human? It will not. Times have changed. The principles are the same. Humans work on the same way. There is a competition between two brothers. What to talk of the world? That was the same thing in the king's time also. The person always wanted to be the king himself and not give the kingdom to his brother. Right? This was the fight in the Mahabharata or not. That's the thing that happens always. But coming to the time of Jatak, Parijat, and Kuldipika, we find people consulting for a certain motive. When I will get married, when I will have child, when I will have home, will I be lucky or not? Because these people are not as affluent as a king. See, this is what I tell to almost every of my client. You want to become a king, pay the astrologer heavily. Every 6 months, pay him once. He will make sure that you remain a king. Otherwise, you become a commoner. Right? So that depends. Right? You want a luxury, so you have to spend some money or what. Whatever. Coming back to my topic. The later time astrology developed much into that anyone is coming and consulting. So it was a one-time affair. Person will come and will ask, am I going to have money? Am I going to have children? Am I going to get married? Am I going to have vehicle? Am I going to get a home or anything? In this scenario, the importance of Bhavachinta comes. That you know the promise of a house. Because now there is a condition that the promise may or may not be fulfilled. Now these things come into practice. The king can have n number of vehicle, n number of wife, n number of children, doesn't matter. But for a common person to have a child, to have a wife, to secure an income was a difficult thing. The question came, and astrologers, using the same principles that were enunciated in text like Jatak and Saravali, using the same principles, they made Bhavachinta. What a house promises, etc., etc. And then things like this came. When I is a child promised, how many children, what will be the gender of the children, when they will have children, etc., etc., etc. Because these are for the commoners who cannot afford astrologer every 3 months or every 6 months usually. Now, leave this much part aside. Come to the second part. I will link it in the end. How do you use the divisional charts? I'm taking the example that I told just 4 days ago in my Dashaveda course. Which divisional chart you use for marriage? D9? Maybe you are doing that. Okay. Don't feel offended by what I say. Try to ignore it. I know you cannot, right? Because I'm talking truth. That's what Buddha says. Sun, moon, and truth cannot be held back. That's what happened, right? I am not promoting myself still, you see. Leave it. Coming to the topic that I was discussing. Which divisional chart you see for marriage? D9? Very good. There is a chapter in every classic called Stri Jatak Adhyay. Open that chapter. That is the single most chapter dedicated completely to marriage affairs. No other chapter is dedicated that much to marriage affair as the Stri Jatak Adhyay is focused on marriage. Because it is about woman, whether be it a woman chart or your probability to get a woman. And in that chart, the divisional chart, which is given the most important, is D30. You can hardly give me 10 shlokas on D9 which talks about marital chart, marital life. But I can give you many combinations on D30 which talks about how a marital life will be. See it yourself, open any classic, the chapter on Stri Jatak, and see how many combinations of widowhood, more than one marriage, dedicated to husband, etc., etc. is there. It is all there in that chapter. It is the most minute chart. And it is the most minute chart. Later time classics such as Philip Martin, etc., started telling that the D30 of Sun will indicate the nature of the planet. So the innermost part is D3, D30. Above that there is D12. Above that there is D9. Above that there is D3. Above that there is D2. Above that there is D1. These are divisions under divisions under divisions under divisions. You want to understand the difference, take a common example. A thin person having Lagna Lord in Lagna. A thin person having Lagna Lord in 6th. There's great difference between them because of the internal things. If the body is strong internally, which is Lagna Lord in Lagna, the person may be thin, no problem, but he will not be diseased. There is another scenario, Lagna Lord in 6th can make you fat or healthy, but the body will be diseased. This is the internal thing. And these are the internal charts. If something is weak internally, suppose I put 80,000 kilos on a truck and replace the tires of the truck with the tire of a scooter, how it will go? That's the role divisional charts play. If the planet is weak in a divisional chart, it is like 80,000 kilos on 4 tires of a scooter. It is not going to move. It's a burden. With the weak position in the divisional charts, all the Raj Yogas in your horoscope is a burden. That's why you will always say, sir, I am having a Raj Yoga but haven't achieved anything in life. That is the problem. Because you are having the tires of a scooty. Scooty Peppless. All that is a good scooty, not messing up with the brand. Right, that's what happened. The most minute divisional chart for Dasha analysis is D30. And the most minute divisional chart for Bhava analysis is D60. But how do you use it? Is there a clear guidance on it? Yes. There are many slokas on it, and after my years of research, study, practice, I have found many such shlokas, but yeah, there is something from my understanding, something from my shloka, something from my understanding, something from shloka, something from parampara. That I have been teaching in different levels of D60. However, in the first part that we completed some 2-3 months ago, I promised students that I will give you a PDF on how the 60 lords of D60 actually behave. You tell me, sir, you don't follow BPHS, then why you are saying there are 60 lords of D60 such as Ghora, etc., Ghora, Kinnar, etc.? You know why? Because these lords are there in Jatak, Parijat and Phaldeepika also. That's the reason. If something is supported by other classics, we are going to take it. The Ghor, Kinnar, etc., being the lord of D60 is supported by Phaldeepika and Jatak Parijat also. That's why I'm teaching it. Narad, Agastya, Durvasa, being the lords of D3 is not supported by any other classic. That's why I don't teach it. As simple as that. Because I want to make money doesn't mean that I will tell a lie and sell myself for penny little money. I don't do that. That is a standard that is there in my teaching and in my consultations. And I never compromise with that. I will not tell a lie. Doesn't matter how much money you give me or how much potentiality is there in the market. If I start teaching Nadi today, people will be going berserk to learn from me, but I don't do that because there is no truth in it. I'm not the one who can sell his soul for some penny money. No, I cannot. Please, I'm extremely sorry. I cannot put a stone on my head and start teaching something which I know is going to fail. When we talk, there was a guy who used to be in a Delhi group of some great astrologer where I used to visit. There was a guy, his name was some Sanjay something. He used to send everyone a email, that how do we predict the horoscope of twins. I never replied him. Of course, he sent me a mail. That is okay. That is fine. He tried to talk to me. I never replied him. Only you cannot entertain everyone, right? At the end of the day, what I see after 2 years that the person have started doing Nadi astrology. I thought to send him a message. Brother, 2 years ago, you were asking me how to predict the twin charts, and today you are saying that trine from Jupiter indicates past life karma. Jupiter remains in a sign for 1 year. Have you put a stone over your head, or what? Because the logic is completely gone now. Nothing left to debate, isn't it? So I cannot put a stone on my head, of course not. If I am going to get a death punishment for my tongue, then I will happily accept it, but not to talk lie. Coming back to the thing that I was discussing. So I promised my students that I will give them a PDF which will talk about how the 60 lots of D60 actually work. But you know how I am, quite busy. So it just went in the flow and I was not able to make the slide, not able to make the PDF. And my courses are being sold almost every day. Recordings are there to be purchased. Right? So in the previous month, there were 3 admissions in the course. 3. The first was a lady from a USA, another was a guy from Tamil Nadu, and third is a person from Bihar. And there were many orders in the past also. Still, technically, what happens, I have a long clientele spanning over the world. So the webinar was also purchased by a lady from Hong Kong and a lady from Mauritius and a lady from this Papua New Guinea. I don't know how to pronounce it. And all of them asked me the same thing. Sir, you told in the promotional video about a PDF. Where is that PDF? And I was like, it is my bad that I haven't made that yet. So it was on my mind to make it. And I made it. It is 80% complete. It is not a PDF, it is an Excel sheet technically that I will convert into PDF before mailing it to everyone. But then a thought came in my mind. Idea struck my mind. Maybe you missed it first time. Why don't I open it for you now? So I have opened it. Once again, for normal people. Although you know my rule, right? I don't teach the same topic again. That will remain the same. I'm not going to teach you the content that I taught in D60 level 1. I'm just going to teach you the additional content that I promised but never delivered. It is free for all the students of the D60 level 1, but they have to send me a message that they want an admission, otherwise they will not be given the recording. If you are not being attentive in the class, there is no use in spending my time over you. I'm very clear on that. For all the people, if you take the webinar is priced some 6,000 rupees. You think it is a big money? I don't think so, because there is 4-hour recordings from the 5 hours 26 minutes recording from level 1. There will be 5-hour recording in this level also. So it is a total of 10 hours of recording. Price is just rupees 6,000. So it is not 1,000 rupees per hour. It is even less than that, around 700, 600 rupees per hour. But the knowledge shared in that hour is immense. You will know it if you have seen any of my video or even this video. What I am going to tell you, I am pretty sure that no one is going to teach you in the market. Because 80% don't know it. Yes, please.
सर D60 का अपना सेकंड लेवल भी तो हुआ था ना एक. We have joined that one.
सेकंड लेवल भी हुआ था, बट थर्ड लेवल करने से पहले मैं ये चाहता था कि पहले वाले का एडिशनल कंटेंट पूरा कर दूं तो तीसरे पे शांति से जा पाऊंगा. अदरवाइज बच्चे पूछते रहेंगे सर वो कंटेंट नहीं मिला, तो आगे पढ़ाना मुश्किल हो जाएगा.
Okay, this will be the third level or the extension of that first and second only?
Extension of the first level, nothing to do with the second.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. So I can promise you something. Whatever I am teaching, no one can teach you in the market. 80% don't know. 20%, 15% who knew already died. 5% are living. 3% of them don't want fame, so they will not come in light. 2% who are in the light are not going to tell you the truth because they want to keep it to themselves only. That's the bitter truth. What I am going to teach, no one is going to teach. The majority people don't know, they never questioned. We are not here to earn money. I'm here to make a change. Earning money, I had a very successful career before coming to astrology. And going to a normal job is quite simple. You report to the office at 11. My office was from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. like a government job, having a handsome salary. There was no reason for me to leave that and get yourself engaged in a profession where your student will call you 6 a.m. in the morning and 11 p.m. in the night and answer his queries. And well, people will daily request you, sir, please give a free reading or do or this or that. Better was that, sitting in the AC room and doing everything. My thought is to make a change. That's why I'm giving that knowledge that I think no one else is going to give. One more point. Once you miss any course, seminar, webinar, never in life it is going to be taught again. Very sure about it. I will teach D60 70 times, but the same rule I will not repeat again. Be very sure. If you are serious about it, it is the one and only chance you can get it live. Ask questions. Otherwise, you can only get a recording and a support. That's all. Second batch of the course will never come. If I think everything that I knew in astrology ended, I will leave astrology and join my old job. I can join it anytime because one of my family members is the boss itself. I'm technically going to inherit it. Right? So I need not worry about these things. Any day I feel that I don't have anything to teach, I will stop teaching astrology that day. I earn good money from consultations also, right? There's nothing in that I have to teach. So be very sure that there will be no second level. I haven't taught second level of any course till date. So if you are serious about it, the first and the last chance, that's all. No other chance. But I cannot end it before telling you the miracles of it. Otherwise, why you have waited for some 40, 50 minutes just to listen what I do, what I want, what I not want. No. Let me give you something. So, although I'm not going to cover this in the seminar, in the webinar, I may cover it off recording. There is something called off recording. There is something called on recording. Whatever I say in on recording is recorded. Whatever I say off recording is with the students only. That's why the attendance is important. Otherwise, you cannot blame me that sir, you taught this, but I was not present in the class. So I haven't learned. That's your fault. If you don't have time, please don't do astrology, my friend. As simple as that. स्कूल आने का समय नहीं है तो एडमिशन लेने का क्या छोड़िए. There's no compulsion that you will not get a moksha without learning astrology. There's nothing like this thing. You know what happened? I'm going to tell you some story. It was some 4 or 5 years ago. A lady came to me. She was a friend of my friend. So she told that, Subham, I want to get my chart done. I said, okay, super, take a consultation. That's the way to proceed, right? So she took the consultation and she asked me some 4 or 5 questions and I answered them. One question was, will we be able to settle abroad? I told no. But after 3 years, when she gave me a feedback, that 3 year was 2 years before 2020. That 3 year happened in 2018. So when she gave me the feedback, she told that, Subham, I am sitting in Canada since last 1.5 years. I was like, okay, thank you for reporting it. I will write it in my copy that it is one of the field prediction that we every one of us go through. Right? That's what happens. I was like, what about the four other predictions that I told you? One failed, that is fine. Because if all the four failed, then I should give you a refund. Why you wasted your money? I take a refund. If you think the consultation is useless, the course is useless, please report it to me, take a refund. I don't want money shrouded with guilt. I don't want to use it. I don't want to eat food on a money which have tears of someone. I will not touch that money, please. इतना खाने का कमी दिल्ली में तो कम से कम नहीं है, जीवन में ना हो. So I told what about the remaining four predictions. So there was something about her marital life that I told her. That you are married, planning for a child, but best of luck from my side is what I told her. Technically, right? Coded word. Because with a lady, I don't as a male, I have some limitations, right? So I don't become so frank. So I was like, best of luck. So she told that Shubham, you were actually right at that time also, but I never told it to you. But me and my husband have a child, late female child, but that child is from IVF. Me and my husband never had a sexual relationship. The marriage is now some 8 years old, but we never had a physical relationship. My husband told me beforehand that he was in affair with some elder lady that he cannot marry, and he's only marrying me to show his family that he's married. But he took a promise from me that he will remain committed with that lady and will not have any kind of relationship with me. So we just live as a friends, nothing else. The marital life is smooth and happy, but it is not a marital life at all. I think that's why you said best of luck. I'm like, yeah, that's why I said best of luck. And I have one other point. A student from my course. So she finally took a consultation in January. I became a bit late, replied to her mail in March. That generally happens with my schedule. So I was, when I saw the chart is very good and everything is there, everything is fine. It is like, a lady with much money and everything is there. But the fifth house was quite afflicted. So I told, ma'am, what about your children? Because actually, whenever I have a doubt about something, I don't frankly tell it that your father have died, etc. Because it will look, it will look quite rude. So I use this approach, how about your child? How about your father, etc. I told her, ma'am, how about your children? So she told me, sir, when we got married, me and my husband mutually decided that we don't want children or a physical relationship. So me and my husband both committed to each other, loving each other very much, living together, don't have a physical relationship, neither with each other nor with anyone else. And there have been many spiritual couples also. They are married, but they don't have a physical relationship. Why? I have seen the use of 3D60 lords very prominently. And those 3D60 lords are very benefic, considered very benefic, considered very, very benefic. If you go to an astrologer, they will say that seventh lord in this benefic D60, oh my God, very good mental life. But you know what I will tell you? That you will not have enough sexual pleasures. And those lords change for a male chart and a female chart. Then I had a friend who was going through the dasha of the fifth lord, Mars dasha for 7 years. Every astrologer told him that you are going to have child in this dasha. He was very desperate for child because when he married, he was 32 and his wife was 33. So he was quite desperate for child, menopause at 40, all that. So every astrologer told him that you are going to get child in the dasha of Mars because it is a Cancer, Lagna, and Mars in the fifth lord. And I told him no. You are going to get the child in the dasha of Rahu. Being my friend, he kept bugging me every Sunday. Why? No, I'm going to have a child. I'm going to have a child. I'm going to have a child. But my friend, his wife, had 8 abortions in the 7 years of Mars dasha. 8 abortions, but no child. As soon as Rahu Dasha started, starting on the 8 months of Rahu Dasha, she gave birth to a male child. And when I went to meet the child in the hospital, her mother only told me one thing, that Shubhambai, she calls me Shubhambai, although she is elder and I am younger. So she told Shubhambai, when you first came to our home in 2015, you told that you will have child in 2018. I still remember that. How do I make this D60? Because D60 is the last step in Bhavachinta. There is no step further than D60 in Bhavachinta. You see D20 for spirituality. Take the chart of Ramakrishna Paramahansa and Sarada Devi and justify why they have no sexual relationship despite being married from D20. Let me see how much guts you have. Cannot justify it. Every rule you will give me, you will know in your mind that this rule is a failure, it is not going to work. That's why you should join D16. You can not take admission into this. No problem. I don't mind. Because everyone doesn't deserve true knowledge also. Because if there are no one poor in the world, then no one is rich also. So there will always be few people who don't like knowledge. And that's the reason I always say position. So there's no hard feeling if you come to the webinar or not. I will recommend it, not because it is my course, of course not. Because I'm going to make money, should I recommend it? No. I have done many seminars, many webinars previously that I have done but never promoted. Many things like that I do. Some I only promote for one class, some I promote for 5-6 classes. There are multiple reasons for it. What I promote for, whatever I speak for, is something legitimate. You know why? There's a very simple reason. If I am going to give my 5 hours teaching something, I make sure that it is not useless. It is not wasting your time, it is wasting my time also. If I'm teaching something that is useless in 5 hours, I'm not only wasting your time, I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting the necessary infrastructure by using this PC and electricity and everything, and I'm giving a damage to trees and everything. I think God is not going to forget me. Because of my wastage, because of me teaching something which is unworthy, I have wasted many resources. That probably I will never do. If you give me a choice between teaching something which is useless and sleeping for 5 hours, I will choose sleeping for 5 hours. Because sleeping in the end gives you a fresh mind and body. But teaching a useless knowledge gives you nothing. And for a student, it is equally damaging. Ask yourself, from how many years you are learning astrology and can you predict? The answer in your mind is your answer to should I join this webinar or not. Thank you.